ever get stuck with a creative challenge? One that sends your brain into total overdrive.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what we're diving into today, right here in the lab, if you will. Specifically, we're tackling the awesome task of naming a character. And not just any character, we're talking about one with a seriously cool lineage.
I'm intrigued. Lay it on us.
All right, so our listener is wrestling with this dilemma. They're creating a character who's the descendant of, get this, either a mad scientist or a hellhound.
Oh, wow. Talk about good genes.
What?
Or maybe not so much, depending on the day.
Exactly, which leads to the big question. How do you find a name that lives up to that legacy?
And that really is the crux of it, isn't it? Because this isn't simply picking a name out of a hat. This is about understanding the essence of their character's potential origins. Are they leaning more toward that, like, clinical brilliance of a mad scientist ancestor, or that fiery primal power of a hellhound?
It's like, do you want your character to conjure up images of doubling beakers and, like, forbidden labs? Or maybe smoldering embers and a low growl that just makes everyone back away very slowly.
Right. It's that internal debate, I think, that a lot of creators find themselves in, because both are so cool.
You really are.
And, names, they have this incredible power to evoke those very images that we're talking about.
Oh, totally.
Think about it. Studies show that names with hard consonants, like K or even an X, often suggest a sense of strength, of power, even danger.
Ooh.
Whereas names that maybe incorporate more scientific elements or concepts can make characters feel simultaneously intelligent, innovative, perhaps even a tad unpredictable.
Oh, it's so true. Just saying the name Dr. Frankenstein, like, it sends chills down your spine,
Right.
but you instantly think genius, right? Okay, so let's break this naming dilemma down, starting with, let's say, the mad scientist's daughter. What kind of names just scream brilliant, but maybe a little volatile?
Well, one path we could explore is using elements from the periodic table. Like aurum, which means gold, could suggest a character with a really sharp intellect. Someone precious and rare.
Ooh, precious and rare. I like that.
Or there's palladium, a metal known for its strength and resilience, which could then hint at a character who's both brilliant and unbreakable.
Ooh, I'm already hooked. And since we're in the realm of science, why not look at names inspired by scientific terminology? Like, what about nova, evoking this sudden burst of energy in creation?
Ooh, I like that.
Or cipher, which suggests hidden depths, a mind that works in these mysterious ways.
Excellent suggestions. And don't forget, I think it's important to remember that this whole mad scientist archetype often draws inspiration from classic mythology,
Oh, absolutely.
particularly Greek myths about creation and knowledge. So, you think about Prometheus, who gifted humanity with fire,
Right.
which represents, knowledge, that willingness to defy convention. I mean, that could be an intriguing choice in itself. Or even Pandora, whose curiosity unleashed, well, a bit of chaos.
A little bit of chaos.
Right, reminding us that even the most brilliant minds can be a source of both wonder and destruction.
Oh, that's so good. And it totally fits with, like, the whole mad scientist vibe. Those experiments don't always go as planned. But, I mean, hey, that's where the drama comes in, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's one side of the family tree. Let's unleash the hounds, shall we?
Let's do it.
What about names for this hellhound heiress? Fire, fierceness, maybe even a touch of don't mess with me.
Definitely looking for names with some bite. And I think ancient religions with those rich underworld mythologies offer just a treasure trove of inspiration.
Yeah.
So think like Persephone from Greek
Like-
mythology. Powerful figure.
Oh, powerful.
Queen of the underworld, she embodies both grace and authority.
Love it.
And then, from Egyptian mythology, we have Anubis, the protector of souls,
Mm-hmm.
often depicted as like this jackal-headed deity, really symbolizing loyalty and guardianship.
I love those. And I bet we could find some seriously cool names just by, like, looking at the sounds and the etymology of words connected to hellhounds, or even just, the underworld.
Absolutely. I mean, you could even just look at the etymology of Hellhound itself.
Oh, true.
Hell being that Norse underworld figure. And suddenly, that opens up avenues for names like Hilda, meaning battle, subtly connecting her lineage to both strength and the underworld.
See, this is what I love, the layers. You get a name that sounds amazing on its own, but then it's got this whole other story hidden underneath.
Right, like an Easter egg. And that's what makes a character's name so powerful. It's the gateway to their history, their personality, their potential.
Ugh, it's so true. Okay, but now the real challenge arises when we consider the possibility of blending those two lineages.
Oh, yes.
A mad scientist's daughter with the fire of a hellhound. That's where things get really, really interesting.
It's a challenge, isn't it? Because how do you capture both the scientific and the infernal in a single name? What would that even sound like?
Right, like how do you even begin to combine those?
Well, I think this is where we start playing with contrasts and finding that sweet spot where those two worlds collide.
Okay, okay, I'm listening.
Imagine a name like Serafina Curie, angelic and ethereal,
Right.
yet grounded in the legacy of Marie Curie, a pioneer in radioactivity research.
Wow.
The name hints at both light and darkness, scientific curiosity, and just a touch of the otherworldly.
Whoa, that's incredible. Okay, so you've got that celestial vibe with Serafina, but then Curie brings in that scientific edge. It's
Mhm.
like the name itself is a walking contradiction, just like her heritage.
Exactly, and I think that's the beauty of this challenge. It forces us to really think outside the box, to consider how these seemingly opposing forces can coexist and even complement each other.
This has been mind-blowing. I feel like we've gone beyond just picking a cool name. We're talking about like crafting an identity.
And that's exactly what you're doing when you name a character. You're giving them a story before they even utter a single word.
So to our listener out there wrestling with this monstrous naming dilemma, I hope this deep dive has sparked some serious inspiration. Remember, the perfect name is out there, waiting to be discovered.
And the most important thing is to choose a name that resonates with you, a name that feels true to the character you envision. After all, you're the one who will be bringing this character to life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Mm.
And you know what? This whole conversation has got me thinking, what other creative challenges can we tackle together? Until next time, happy writing.